Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to another video. Sorry it's taking me so long to actually get another video out there. So today's kind of discussion, if you will, is going to be about foreigners in Japan. So is it a good idea to actually have foreigners in Japan, or in this case, to allow more foreigners into Japan? So why am I talking about this? Because I myself am a foreigner who lived in Japan. I've been hearing, stories and reading articles about how Japan is looking to change and to be more almost multicultural and just more open to foreigners in terms of allowing more foreigners to be able to get a visa to work and live in Japan. It's something that wasn't really in the conversation even, let's say, a year or two back. So, to actually be able to kind of put on an event such as the Olympics, which is coming very soon to Tokyo, I feel that almost this event in itself is kind of like a test run of, can Japan actually accept and just be able to understand and navigate something as unknown as that many amount of foreigners. It's fine and well and dandy to accept millions of tourists throughout the year, 12-month period. However, it's something entirely different to kind of be able to understand and get to grips with that amount of people, of influx of people of different creeds, different kind of values, different looks, countries, languages, cultures, religions. There's more leniency now towards foreigners staying temporarily or indefinitely. It's just due to circumstance, less so on where you're from and why are you trying to come into the country. It's now becoming more about what can you actually offer Japan? And I think if you're a decent person and you are willing to kind of understand and appreciate and respect the country, the people, and the culture of Japan, then I don't really see much of an issue. However, if you're just kind of going in there, of course illegally, and lots of people are, and just bypassing kind of rules and regulations, that's not right. But it doesn't have to kind of be the yardstick to measure every single other foreigner who just honestly and earnestly wants to kind of make a living and carve out a kind of more positive and fulfilling life in Japan. Sometimes it almost looks foolhardy because, well, why looking for something in another country when you can have that and more in the country that you're already residing in or that you're from? But sometimes it's just a case of wanting to do something different. Maybe that is really the only place for them to go, where they can actually have a more positive and overall better quality of life. Nothing wrong with that. But again, it comes down to rules, regulations, and just if they're given permission to do so. It's difficult because Japan is very much, and I still imagine even with the influx of foreigners, it will remain a very homogeneous country. Right now, it's something like 97-98% of the population are Japanese. There are something like, I don't remember, top of my head, a lot of foreigners there now than there used to be, but it's going to take a bit longer, a while, until I think it's going to catch up to or be anywhere kind of close to the level of other kind of Asian countries which are open to foreigners, or other kind of Western countries, Australia, Canada being good examples of allowing a lot of foreigners in, giving them citizenship and allowing them to kind of just live their lives. Also, I believe that another problem could be if foreigners are allowed into the country, will something be taken away from Japan in terms of culture, identity? I think positives are, there's not a lot wrong with allowing someone in who can actually offer something, can do a job, can help others, can earn money to then put back into the economy. And if they're just, not offending anybody and just living their own life, living their best life, that's all you can really hope for from an outsider. Also, of course, someone who's more willing to understand, respect and learn and almost buy into, just almost love, a new culture that they're not used to, that they're foreign to. They're also learning and seeing these new kind of things they've never seen before. And if they can kind of identify and connect with native people, that in turn kind of helps kind of distinguish stigmas and kind of stereotypes on both sides. It takes time. It's not going to take a case of 1 to 100 foreigners coming into the country to then change people's opinions of foreigners. It's not easy to get asylum in any country, more so in Japan, because hundreds of thousands of people have tried, but only something like 1.5 to 2,000 people were accepted throughout the year, which is insane. Should Japan allow more foreigners into the country? It's a bit of a cop-out answer, but I don't know. I think on one hand it's good, on the other hand it's not so good. If they do allow more people into the country and it proves beneficial, and there's an upturn and a boom in terms of jobs and economic growth, and just good things for the country, which wouldn't have happened without the involvement of foreigners and without the kind of influx of foreigners, and wouldn't have happened without foreigners' contributions, then great. But if for some reason Japan kind of goes backwards and there's much more negatives and more kind of problems that arise due to foreigners being allowed into the country, then I don't think it would be the smartest idea. I think, to give a kind of complete and full answer, it's good in moderation. And if it works out, then, that net can kind of spread further and further. And, maybe then it wouldn't be such a crazy idea to have foreigners living and working in Japan. Please feel free to subscribe and join my notification squad. And I hope you guys will support me on my journey to 100 subs and 6,000 views. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Take it easy.